Hi guys, hey, I wanted to do a fun little video. I am in my living room, so I'm sorry if there's like an echo. I'm home alone, so I thought I'd try something different. Sorry the lighting is like halfway on my face, but we're gonna deal with it. I'm doing a video I haven't probably done in like years. My favorite complexion products. I haven't done one of these videos pretty much because I've been using the same complexion product for like the last 2 years, and only in the last 6 months or so have I tried some other things that I really like, and my skin is a lot different than it used to be. So when I last did this video, it was like I have the most oily skin in the entire world, and now I have combination skin. My T-zone still gets quite oily, but I'm very dry on my cheeks and on my jawline. So these products I find to be amazing for combination skin. I also don't use full coverage, so if you're looking for a full coverage complexion product, this is not the video for you. So a lot of these are like tinted moisturizers, CC creams, things like that. But we're just gonna kind of go with it. We have a couple high-end, a couple drugstore, a couple like mid-range. So probably the highest coverage product here is something that personally is a bit too drying for me, but I did want to mention it because if you have combination skin but still are on the more oily side of that spectrum, this will be great for you, and that is the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless. I love this. If you watch my original review on this, it was like the best thing in the world. I was definitely more on the oily side with a few dry patches from like acne scars. Now I'm just older, so I'm more dry. But this stuff is so great. It's obviously affordable. If you're looking for an affordable, very good coverage, lightweight feeling foundation, this is a good one. They have a decent shade range, very comfortable to wear, and I find that it still leaves your skin looking natural. It controls the oils pretty well, and it lasts all day. Like I said, you could watch that video that I posted on this when it first came out. If you're on the more oily spectrum, like combination to oily, that's a good one. Next up is one I did a video on a couple of months back, and that is the Physicians Formula Healthy Foundation. I wanted to pick this up because Physicians Formula is cruelty-free, and I believe this is vegan. I might be wrong, but it does have SPF in it. I don't like the packaging. I talked about that in the video, but I do really like this foundation. I think it's actually good for all skin types almost, because I've seen a lot of people who have really oily skin on YouTube love this. I think it definitely needs to be set with powder if you have more oily skin, but for me, I only set really like my pore areas and under my eyes, and this stuff lasts. It's definitely more coverage than I wear on like an everyday basis. It doesn't really feel heavy on the skin. It's very moisturizing. It's like a thicker consistency. I think it would have been really good to put this in a squeezy tube, just saying. But if you want a very lightweight feeling but thicker foundation that's gonna last, it's gonna hold up, it has SPF, and it's gonna not cling to dryness and also not make you oily, I think this is a really great one. This is definitely something that I'm going to continue to use. Next, I guess this is the next coverage level. I recently did a video on this, and that is the Neutrogena Hydra Boost Hydrating Tint. Looks like this. This is a tinted moisturizer, sort of. It is very thick though, like it's much more thick than you would anticipate a tinted moisturizer to be. It doesn't feel thick on the skin, it's just like the texture isn't watery, but it is a hyaluronic acid, so I do find this to be very moisturizing. This one makes your skin feel like it's getting an extra drink if that's what you need. I think if you're more on the dry side of combination, this will be even better for you, but this does have a bit less coverage to it. Next up is what I've been using for the last 2 years, if not longer, and that is the Cosmetics CC Cream CC Plus Color Correcting with the 600 names. I've had 3 different bottles of this. I started with medium, then went down to light, and then went down to fair because I'm just slowly getting paler and paler, and this is not cheap, but it's worth it. Not that many shades in here. I know cosmetics is pretty controversial at the moment, but this product, like the actual formula, is very good. Can be applied with your fingers. I prefer it with a beauty blender. Packaging is great. Comes with a pump and a squeeze tube. What more could you want? Has a high SPF. My mom loves it. I think it's really great for anyone who is not, I wouldn't recommend this if you have very oily skin. That is something I want to say. It's great for combination, but if you have very oily skin, this is going to break down. When I first reviewed this, I did have oily skin, and I was like, nope, not good enough, not going to work. But now that I've been more combination for the last few years, it's much better, and I think it's good for drier skin too. Maybe not flaky dry skin, but if you have more like mature skin, I think this is awesome. And they do have the illumination version, the bronzing version, and they did just come out with a matte version. If you are more oily, I'm assuming that's something you might want to go for. It does say full coverage on here, but I would say if you're looking at the spectrum of like tinted moisturizer CC cream, this is on the full coverage spectrum, and it can be built up, but it's not going to be like near your Estee Lauder like double wear stuff, you know? Next coverage level is my new favorite, which I am wearing today. I've been wearing it my last few videos, and this is BareMinerals Complexion Rescue. Oh my god, I'm so glad I got this. It's a tinted hydrating gel cream with SPF 30. So yay, it has SPF in it. Yay, I'm shade 4.5. What? I'm usually shade like 1 or 2. And I love the texture of this. When you squeeze it out, it's very thick, moussey, like very like whipped. Is that the word? Maybe. But it's not like liquidy. It's much more whipped. I love that it's a squeeze tube. I love that it has SPF. The shade really blends in very nicely. It's definitely not anywhere near full coverage. It's what you would expect, I think, from like a tinted moisturizer from a high-end brand. I think my favorite thing about it is it doesn't feel like makeup whatsoever. I would highly recommend this. At the moment, this is probably my favorite thing. 2 more products, both from Glossier. One is the Perfecting Skin Tint, which I have raved about in other favorites videos, but they did recently change the formulation. So if you didn't like it before, you might like it now because it is a little bit better, even for me who did like it before. The original one I had was in the shade medium. This is in the shade light. It's very simplistic packaging, very tiny, but it's the same amount. I think all of these come with a very similar amount of product in them, around a fluid ounce if not more. And I really like this, to be honest. It's very similar coverage to what you would expect, like I said, from a tinted moisturizer. It is a lot thinner than this one though. So this is a more moussey texture. I apply both of them with my hands. This is more of like a serum-y texture. The older formula was a lot more liquidy. This one is a bit thicker, but still liquidy. It's still like either one that you put on your hand. If you turn your hand, they will start to like drip. I actually have been mixing the 2 of them together because of the shades. They don't, again, have like more than 5 shades, but this is very light coverage. Like this is the lightest of the light coverage, which I really like, especially for summer. If you're running out doing errands and you don't want to pop makeup on, this, you just put a little on, kind of rub it in, and it just gives you a kind of overall like blurring. This is something I will continue to use on very natural days. It just kind of depends what you're looking for, if you need a specific shade, if you need SPF or not. But yeah, all these products are amazing. I have one more that's not a foundation but a concealer, and that is the Glossier Stretch Concealer. To be honest, when I had oily skin, I could use just about any concealer out there. I could use a stick concealer, I could use a doe foot applicator, I could use anything under the sun. But in the last year or so, when I put concealer under my eyes, it like my skin absorbs it. It gets all dry and cakey and disgusting. It doesn't even crease, it just gets so cakey. You can see little bits cracking. It's horrible. Like you'd think I'm 80. But the only concealer on me that does not do that is the Glossier Stretch Concealer. It is very, not oily, but very emollient. You put your finger in it and it feels like there's a lot of moisture in this tin. I think this is a fantastic concealer if you have wrinkles, if you have mature skin. My mom loves this concealer. It's just so emollient that it's almost like a moisturizer and a concealer in one. It's not going to be that crazy brightening, like bam, if you put like the whole triangle situation here. That's not me. That's not my life. I like only cover the darkest areas. That might not be the right way to do it, but for someone who wants a more natural look, this is amazing. A lot of people think that these 2 products from Glossier don't have enough coverage. That's perfectly fine for some people. Like, okay, if you don't like it, you don't like it. But if you like light coverage, you like something very natural looking, you don't want to look like you're wearing a lot of makeup, but you want to look in the mirror and be happy with what you see more so than right when you get up in the morning, these are the products for you. I hope that this helped you out. I hope that you liked this video. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Leave me any questions below that I didn't like mention about these. I will leave the individual reviews to these below. I'll see you next time. Thank you so much for watching. Bye. Last year, I just hit myself in the face. Cool.